Welcome back to Nashville, Tennessee, Commodity Classic here in AgriTalk Online. Joining us now is Bill Preller, Case IH North America Director of Specialty Sales. Bill, thank you for joining us. Tier 4, we keep hearing about it, meeting those emission standards. How does a company like Case IH meet those Tier 4 standards, but yet also meet the growing demands that the farmer has for power and output in those machines?
You asked exactly the right question, because it's not really about emissions. Obviously, that's something we have to do. What we need to do for our customer base is all about the power and the efficiency. The efficient power story for Case IH is very clear that we're driving more efficient use of fuel, more power, and yes, we happen to meet Tier 4A emission standards. We did that using selective catalytic reduction technology. It's the leading technology in the industry. It's the most efficient, and we got it right from the start.
I'm amazed at, that's quite a goal, to have more power and still more fuel efficiency at the same time. You wouldn't think those two would necessarily go together, but you've been able to do it.
That was the challenge, and from a commercial standpoint, in terms of us taking care of our customers, listening to our customers, that was very clearly the objective. It had nothing to do with the emissions standards per se. It has to have value to the customer. And the SCR technology that we're using, the 10% fuel efficiency over our competitors and over our prior products, now proven by the Nebraska Test Lab. We've got 10,000 of these engines out in the field running very successfully, giving people more power and more fuel efficiency all at the same time. And really the main point for us now is to extend that technology throughout our product line so we become all Tier 4 compliant. And the rest of the story, as we've already announced, is we'll use this same technology with relatively minor upgrades to meet the final Tier 4 standards in 2014, 2015.
Maybe we should have started with this. Some people may be listening and say, what do you mean by Tier 4? Let's kind of go back and explain that.
Very good point. In the off-road industries, engines and vehicles have been subject to emission compliance, just like we've had in the on-road vehicles for a long time. Tier 4 is really kind of the ultimate standard set by the U.S. government for emissions of both particulate matter and NOx, nitrogen oxide. And they're very, very stringent standards. If you look at the reduction that was required, Tier 1, Tier 2, Tier 3, those were relatively minor improvements. Tier 4 is a significant requirement, and we've met that with flying colors.
Let's switch now to advanced farming systems. We've seen a lot in the industry about the auto guidance systems that are out there. Tell us about what Case IH has.
Well, thank you for bringing that up, because this is really a banner year. 2012 is a watershed year for Case IH in that AFS is really redeveloping into, we're on the threshold of a whole new frontier, and that's telematics. Industry-wide, we will have vehicles that start talking to each other, and they talk to remote locations. And so we've gone from the days of GPS and recording data in a yield monitor to then guidance driving a tractor. Now we're at the layer where we are able to communicate in two-way real time with that vehicle, and that can be as something as simple as a technician in a dealership is able to remotely diagnose and even then send back, say, a software fix to keep a vehicle running or monitor critical operating parameters. It could also be something as fun as you can text and ask the operator, what time do you want lunch delivered? It's kind of cool.
I thought you were going to say, here's what we're getting into. The tractor's going to say, be quiet, I'm talking to the combine, or something like that. Is that where we're headed? But it's amazing, this technology, and what the efficiencies that it can bring to farmers.
Absolutely, and that's one of the key things. We all know that in production agriculture today, labor and trained labor is one of the key limitations. What this does is it lets you use the labor you have more effectively, because they can focus on operating the machine, and if there's expertise that's required. Another example would be instead of the combine operator who knows how to adjust the machine being in the machine, they can do that from a remote location. They can monitor grain loss and then make the adjustments to keep things running the way they need to.
What do you have available to help farmers learn about this?
That's the other half of the equation. Absolutely. When you bring new technology, you need to bring the support that goes with it. And that's the other major leg of the AFS initiative for 2012 is a much broader range of support capabilities. We start with our dealer organization and AFS certified dealers, and to make sure that they have the training, the tools, the personnel to support the customer right there on the ground in the local area. But then we're backing the dealers up with all new AFS Support Center, a 24/7, 365 call center. We still expect the primary call to go to the dealer, but let's imagine it's 3 o'clock in the morning and the dealer person isn't available, or maybe it's a peak use season. Now that dealer automatically has a backup and will feed the information back through the dealer as well. The rest of the story is really about training in advance, not doing things after the fact, doing them proactively. And the new AFS Academy provides training online, in local dealerships, and through centralized training centers, from simple 45-minute courses online to 2-day very in-depth seminars, a broad range of training and support so the customer knows what they are doing ahead of time.
So let's listen for that equipment talking to each other out there, right?
Absolutely, you got it right.
And we're really going to see this here right away, this spring, right?
This spring, full availability of AFS. The Connect option starts the 1st of April, and all of these support things kick in before spring.
Not just something way out there in the future, it's here now.
It is here now.
Bill Preller, he's Case IH North America Director of Specialty Sales. Stay with us, more to come from Nashville on AgriTalk Online.